Again, I know I seem like I say this a lot, but unbelievable environment out there tonight. So proud of our fans, the way they turn out, and they don't just sit in their seats. It's an active group. Really made an impact on the game. I think it affected Boston College. I think it affected their offense. I think it rattled them at times. Thursday night, national TV. I don't know where else you'd rather be than Blacksburg, Virginia. So hats off to our fans. Hats off to our players and coaches. Obviously, tonight wasn't perfect, but a lot of good things, and then certainly some things that were basically ugly. Combination of penalties and turnovers made for an ugly third quarter. But I'm very proud of the way they responded. And big fourth down stop and then a couple of runs, and all of a sudden the momentum swung back our way. And we kept it from there. So that's a good team we beat tonight, and I think we beat them pretty soundly. Questions?
Brent, got to start with the obvious. Bashal, 266 yards on 18 carries. What can you say about what he was able to do tonight?
Yeah, we obviously gave him a game ball, and he's a dog. He's finally healthy. He didn't wear his brace tonight. Medical staff approved it. He was confident. And he looked fast. I thought the holes were big holes he was running through. And, once he gets out there in the open, he's hard to catch now. He was very proud of the way he played tonight. I think he's a special back.
He put him back in there on the last drive in the fourth quarter. Did someone radio in saying, hey, he's this close to the program record?
Yeah, Coach Brooks, the running back coach. But I normally don't like that, but, a school record at a place like Tech where there's been so many great running backs. And he was deserving of his performance. So, a credit to the O-line. We gave them a game ball as well. You get that kind of rushing yardage. It's special. I've been saying they've been getting better every week. That's a good rush defense that we went against tonight. And I thought the way we were able to do some things, our blocking on the perimeter was really good, not just up front. So proud of the effort.
Tootin had the fumble they lost there in the third quarter. How badly does he lobby to get back out there and get the ball in the next drive to atone for that?
Yeah, they both did, Kyron and him. As hard as we work on ball security, it was disappointing to me. I think both of those are avoidable. A little bit careless with the ball. We're fortunate. Hopefully a lesson can be learned in a victory. We got to be more intent with the ball. And, I love the effort. They both give tremendous effort to finish runs, which is what we hope for, what we teach, what we want. But you got to secure the ball all the way through the tackle, and we didn't do a great job of that.
Do you cut him any slack when he rips off 60 and 80-yard runs after that?
I was still hugging his butt in the locker room, trust me. But they both heard from me on the sideline after they turned it over.
You guys were up 28-21. They had that fourth down play around midfield. Keller came in, had that critical stop. How big was that? What did you see on that play?
Yeah, that's when the momentum swung back, J.K. has flashed at times, and I think tonight was his best performance. Hopefully that can get him over the hump, and he can be that guy every week. He had 10 tackles. The fourth down play was a really impactful play for us because then we went 3 straight runs, 2 with Tootin, 1 with Aiden Green, and we scored, and the momentum was back on our side, and it kind of stayed with us from there.
APR, another 4-sack game, most in school history. He now is tied for the nation's lead in sacks. What can you say about his performance tonight?
Yeah, tremendous effort. He's been a little bit banged up, and I think he had a chance to feel a little bit better going into this one with the extra time, but he's got a real knack for rushing the quarterback, and that you got to get guys off schedule. We were able to do that, get them in some situations where APR can, pin his ears back and go. And he's a good one now. He's got a knack for it. I think the supporting cast, adding rush lane integrity on a guy like Castellanos was really important. We're going to look at that film. There's a couple sacks we left out there.
Is there a look he gets in his eye? And I know Coach Price says sacks come in bunches, but when he gets one, is there a look he just gets in his eye where it's like, I'm going to go get more and more? And
He's always hungry. He's very confident. He's hungry. He's one of those guys, you can look to him to make a play when you need it. He's proven that. The other thing I'll say is Bruce Smith was here again. Last time Bruce was at the game, he had 4 sacks. He's there tonight, so Bruce is coming. I ask him, make sure he's there the rest of the season.
you guys forced 3 turnovers. 2 of them came in the first half. APR fell on 1 fumble, but that one was right in the red zone. Again, what did you like about your guys' ability to disrupt them, especially early?
Yeah, I think when you play physical and you get downhill and you don't look to get blocked, things happen around the ball. And you got to put your pads on people. You got to be flying to the football because when it pops out, man, it's anybody's game, right? And we got to be the ones around it to be able to get it. And I thought they did a good job of that.
Brent, in the first half, you guys were 12 for 13 for 144 through the air. What was clicking with the passing game in the first half? And then what adjustments did Boston College make to kind of negate that in the second half?
Yeah, first of all, I thought Kyron was spinning the ball really nice early in that first half of the game. He had some great throws, and we had some good catches. I don't know that they adjusted anything necessarily in coverage. I think, we had to drop with Ali. And then it was a miscommunication, I think, on a scramble with Kyron's interception. I think he thought the guy was going deep, and he broke it off, and Kyron threw it. So we'll have to look at that one on film. But, I thought we did things tonight on the backs of our ground game.
Then Benji Gosnell, 4 catches, team high 49 yards, including 28 after the catch. What's made him a more dynamic guy kind of after the catch and being able to break those tackles and turn short plays into 10, 15-yarders?
Yeah, first of all, credit to our strength and conditioning staff. Benji had an awesome offseason, put on a bunch of good weight. He's strong, and then the confidence he gained from having some success. That catch he made was really impressive, and I don't know if last year at that time he thinks he's going to go make that catch. And he's just got a demeanor right now. He's learning to master his craft. And again, I think his off season is impacting him right now.
You guys have been working in Brody Meadows and Johnny Garrett on a more consistent basis the past few games. How much do you think that has helped both the run and pass blocking for this team?
Yeah, it has helped. The depth that those 2 guys provide, and I thought they both played well tonight. I watched Johnny isolated on number 6 a couple times, and he held his own against one of the better, rush guys in the league. So it's certainly great to get those guys a spell in there so that you're strong in the fourth quarter.
Brent, it's 3 straight games you've scored on your first drive to open a game. All of them have come after defensive stops. You asked quite a bit about fast starts, but just does that set a tone, especially with this offense being able to do that for consecutive games now?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, hopefully there's some confidence there. We worked hard at having the right plan out of the locker room, particularly on offense. And you go through the openers, and you practice them, and then you walk through them, and then you walk through them, and then you practice them, and so that everybody's confident in execution on the opening drive or 2. So I think Coach Bowen's done a good job there. It's paid off.
David asked you about the 3 takeaways. You scored touchdowns after every one of them. It seems like you guys are now capitalizing on the takeaways. Has there been a key in the sudden change where your offense is able to seize that momentum? Have you noticed that in recent weeks?
I think it's complementary ball. You want to be able to do that. When you stall and you got to kick field goals, you get a takeaway. You got to capitalize on it. And I thought, just good football teams play complementary ball, and we did that for the most part this evening, not for the entire game.
Hi, to follow up on APR, when you said he's got a knack for sacks, is that something he's developed over the last couple of years? Is that something you've taught him over the last couple of years? Did he walk in the door with that? How has he gotten to this stage?
Yeah, it's both. He brought a skill set in that we didn't have in the room, to be honest. And so he elevates everybody with his skill set. They see him. They learn from him. They compete with him. He helps our O-line get better because of what he brings. And then we've done a lot of work. We did not rush the quarterback well enough in year one. And so we emphasized it. We invested in our pass rush. We brought in guests. We did a lot of work to improve that area. And generally, when you make the investment, it pays off. And that's what's happened up front with our rush.
Brent, Caleb Woodson, 9 tackles, including 1.5 for loss. What have you seen in his growth and development working in that inside linebacker role?
Yeah, honestly, he's adjusted to playing in the box quicker than I thought he would. It's not easy to go from playing that overhang to being in there, particularly at will, which is one of the tougher positions in our defense. And, he's able to play fast and physical. He hustles. He plays with great temperament. He's not playing perfect. He's got some things he still has to clean up, but I'm pleased with where he's at. He's only going to get better and better.
Just to circle back to Tootin, you've seen a lot of great backs in your career, I'm sure, as a defensive coordinator. Does he compare to anybody that you've seen in the past?
I don't know if there's any one person, but I said coming in, into the season, I felt like he was underrated, undervalued. I don't know what he doesn't do well. He can make you miss. He can outrun you. He can break a tackle. He can catch the ball out of the backfield. And now he's cleaned up his pass pro. He's playing at a high level right now.
Right before the blocked field goal, Jalen Jones had a PBU in the back of the end zone, sets up the blocked field or the field goal. They muff it, and then you guys turn that into a touchdown right after that. Your vantage point on that sequence of events, how proud are you of just the way you guys were able to respond quickly?
Yeah, again, it's a lesson learned. Teams can drive into your red zone, and that's where you got to bow up and find a way to get a stop. And it's always, get that first down play. Get a no gainer or a minus yardage. Get him to second and long. Get him behind the sticks a little bit in the red zone. Guys understanding that there's only 20 yards to work with right there, or 30 yards to work with. If it's a short field. There's their whole menu's not available to them. We're getting better there. We're not where we need to be yet, but we're getting better.
Thanks, Coach Rob.
All right, appreciate it, everybody.
I will have Coach Crook at the podium, and then he'll be followed by Coach. Dame.
Ron, you ever been a performance like that from a single back?
No, I've not. But it's fun to watch, isn't it? The thing that sticks out to me is like Coach Pride just said. I mean, there was plays where he ran away from people, plays where he broke tackles, plays where he made people miss. It was really fun to sit and watch that.
Caden seemed to be the most excited off the run that set the record. He lifted his fist in the air and was pretty happy. What does that mean for an offensive line group to have a performance like that?
So we take a lot of pride in how well the other people on our team do, especially our running back, our quarterback, everything. We know that if he's having success, we're doing what we're supposed to do, what we're expected to do. We talk all the time. It's the only position in sports where like your only responsibility is to protect somebody else. So when those people are able to go have success, it's important to us. We enjoy that a lot.
Let's go Andy and then Tim.
Looked like you were able to rotate some guys in there, Meadows, Garrett as well. How do you like how that rotation's working? And was that a plan to get more guys in the game?
Yeah, love the way it's working. Those guys deserve to play, and that's why they're getting out there. It's why you're seeing more of them. It's something we've been trying to do more and more, and as we get more into the season, it's been able to happen more and more. They keep developing, they keep getting better, and continue to give you reasons to put them out there.
Tim.
Ron, how much do you think that depth with Meadows and Garrett being able to be playable and get 10, 20 snaps, how much do you think that is helping run blocking, pass blocking down the stretch in fourth quarters of games?
I think it helps a lot because you're a little bit fresher. If you can imagine taking 20 plays where you don't have to play those plays, you're that much fresher when you get to the fourth quarter. I think it starts to pay off in the middle of the season and towards the end of the season as well, because now that's 20 plays a game that you're not taking the beating that you usually do throughout the course of a game. So you're a little bit fresher in the fourth quarter, but then you're a little bit fresher game 7, game 8, game 9, game 10, and so forth. So that's the whole idea behind it.
On Bashal's 83-yard touchdown in the first half, looked like Johnny got to the second level and kind of paved the way there. What was your vantage point on that, and what have you seen from Johnny?
He did. He did a great job of working his target. We had a little fold block on the backside. He did a good job of really working his target. One of the things that we spend a lot of time on, we spend a lot of time inordinate, what's that word? Inordinate, thank you, amount of time working on just strictly fundamentals. And when we get into a guy and we're able to adjust our hips like that and be able to strain through him and continue to finish blocks, that's what we spend our time practicing. To see those guys go out and put those drills on film and do it in a game situation, it's pretty exciting to watch.
For your group, what does a performance like this do for confidence, for moving forward?
Well, I think the thing that they kind of realize is that it doesn't matter the situation. We can go out and have success doing this in any situation on the football field. And I think they believe that to begin with. You build that into them, build that confidence. But to see it actually go happen, I think they just continue to take steps with that.
Last one, Damien.
Sorry about that. To open ACC play, you've played 3 teams that have all been ranked in the top 25 in rush defense, 136 yards or more in all 3 of them. And I asked Bob during the open week about that, and he's like, yeah, we just come in and smacked them in the mouth, and we were planning on doing this today. Can you talk about that mentality that this offensive line has had, just wanting to smack people in the mouth and run over them?
Again, any good group that I've ever seen, any good offensive line group has that mentality, has that thought process. I don't think you're going to be successful in the O-line for a long term if you don't feel that way. So I think that's a mentality that we've continually tried to build, and the guys have bought into it. That's what's fun about playing offensive line is to be able to go out and play that way. So they want to do that. We want to do that. Coach Pry wants to do that. Coach Bowen wants to do that offensively. And as offensive line staff, that's the way we believe. So we take a lot of pride in what we call wearing our opponent down, being able to have success late in the game and be able to take advantage of things at that point.
Thanks, Coach Crook.
Thank you. Thanks for your help on that.
I hope that was the right word.
Coach Price said you did some politicking to get Bashal back in, because I think, did someone tell you how close he was to the record, or did you know, because of your studying of this history, how close he was to getting to 253?
Yeah, towards the end of the game, we wanted to keep him out, to avoid injury, and we got word that he was 10 yards shy of the record. And so I know how hard Bashal works, and I know it's something that he wanted, so talked to coach and just asked him to give him a shot to get it.
To do it on 18 carries and the way he was able to do it with I think only one run was stopped for 0 yards. What did you like about the way he was able to run tonight? It seemed like fully healthy, and we talked to you earlier in the week about what the off week would do for him.
Yeah, he ran with a lot of confidence. He was very decisive. No wasted movement, and he had the confidence that he was going to have a big day, and so he went out there, he played well. I'm extremely proud of him.
He had that ball they lost at the end of the third quarter. How badly did he want to get back out there and make up for that?
Yeah, he was extremely hard on himself after that turnover. He a lot of times he's trying to make the big play, and the ball got away from him a little bit. And but if you know anything about Bashal, he responds well, and he came out there and did what he needed to do to help the team out.
I know we've talked about his tough running a lot this year, 80-plus yard runs, 60-plus yard run. He feel like he got to showcase his speed a little bit today.
Yeah, it was good. Last game, Stanford kind of had him bottled up a little bit, and coming into this one, I think with the bye week, he was able to get fresh, and when he got in open field, he was able to showcase his long speed, which was he can move.
A lot of talk will be about what he did on the ground, but he caught a touchdown pass too. What was your vantage point on that reception?
From my angle, it looked as though he caught the ball or trapped it on his shoulder pad. And the thing that's funny about that is, we often have discussions in our room about who has the best hands. And so, I think right now he has a little bit of a lead as far as big time catches. So that was clutch.
As a team, to be able to rush for what you guys did tonight, how much confidence does that give you going forward?
A lot of confidence. The name of the game is running the ball and playing good defense, and our guys set out to do that, and we faced some tough run defenses, and we've done well. So we can continue to get better, and hopefully that we attack it the right way.
Tim and then Steve.
Elijah, you guys ran for 368 yards in this game. How much is having a little more depth on the offensive line, having more playable guys like Johnny Garrett and Brody Meadows who can work in and keep some of the other guys fresh, how much is that helping this rushing attack?
Oh, it's definitely key. Coach Pry, made an emphasis to the staff to get a lot of these guys reps because it's a long season, and we have some guys who have the ability. So the more depth we can create as the season goes on, it just pays huge dividends for us down the line.
Steve.
Back when he made the decision to come back this year, the conversations you guys had, what did you want to see him do to improve at that point, and how far along is he in that improvement plan?
Yeah, he had a solid season last year, but there was a lot of areas we could improve. He's been really good in his reads, his eye discipline. Pass protection was an area, playing without the ball was an area that he had to improve, and he's done a fantastic job. And I'm just excited to see his success because he worked extremely hard in the off season. We have a long way to go, but he's playing at a very high level. Thank you.
Bejo.
When Coach Brooks got you back out there in the fourth quarter, did you know how close you were to the record?
Coming off the field, I didn't know. I think a play went by, then, everyone started telling me, like, you're 10 yards away. And he wanted to put me back in. Coach Pry chose to put me back in and to try to break the record, and it worked out.
What was more special for you, the fact that Caden seemed happier for you to break the record, or the fact that Coach Brooks gave you probably one of the biggest bear hugs you've probably gotten, when you came back to the sideline?
I would just say everyone I encountered, it was a special moment for me. Not just them two was important, but, just the whole team rallying around, cheering on, giving hugs. I mean, this is the brotherhood, and that's why I came here, and I definitely do appreciate that.
Did you have a sense this was going to be a special type of game for you?
Every game's a special game. That's how I look at it. I just felt a little better today. We had a bye week. I felt great throughout practice. Took the knee brace off. I felt fast. I felt good. I felt fluent. And, I just came out and balled today, and that's what we needed.
I was going to ask you, how restrictive is that knee brace? Does it feel like you've take off a cast or something like that when you're out there?
It's a little restrictive. It's protection, though. It's a protocol that we chose to go with for the past 4 weeks. But just having that off, I definitely did feel faster.
You had the fumble there in the third quarter, and you came at the end of a 10-yard run, I think. How badly do you want to get back out there to atone for that? It looked like you did with a couple of those big runs in the fourth.
Yeah, it's football. Things happen. You make mistakes, but it's all about how you respond. I did take it kind of hard, like Coach Brooks said, but, at the end of the day, I'm a player and I'm gonna make plays. And I just came out, I had to get it back.
Let's go, David.
Bashal, what does it mean to you to be the all-time single-game rushing leader in Virginia Tech school history?
It means a lot, you know. I've been here for 2 years, and I worked so hard, you know, to get to this point and to have a game like that in front of a sold-out crowd at Virginia Tech with a lot of running backs in the past that was, you know, amazing first-rounders and whatnot. To just break that record, it definitely means a lot to me in my journey of where I came from.
You had that touchdown catch. Coach Brooks was joking about how everybody talks about who has their best hands in the room. Can you walk me through that catch and just seeing the ball reeling it in, and you feel like you have the best hands in the room, I guess?
I know I got the best hands. They keep trying to play me. I don't know why. But it was a simple play. I released out to the flat after protection. My linebacker didn't come, so I checked out into the flat. Regular scramble drill, saw KD, you know, run out the pocket, decided to wheel it up. He normally don't throw it, but he threw it this time. And when I saw him, you know, release it, I was like, oh, snap. And I just made a play for the ball, and, you know, it worked out for us.
All right, we got three more. We got Tim, Damien, and then Colby Finn.
Bashal, you mentioned obviously the knee brace coming off. What specifically went into that recovery process during the bye week to get you to the point where you could take off that brace?
Most of the time I was playing with the knee brace just for precautionary reasons. I didn't really feel no pain, so I decided to come out the brace for this week. And last week I practiced without it. I felt great. So I didn't think it would be a hindrance for me not playing with it. So, you know, we tried to take it off and came out. I felt great. So we stuck with it.
And this offensive line now has kind of been working 7 deep the past few games. Have you noticed that the offensive line maybe is a little fresher and a little sharper down the stretch of games with a little more depth?
Yes, I definitely noticed that. Like you said, playing with 7, more guys get rotation, more guys get breaks, and it's clearly shown on the field. You know, them boys give it they all every play, and just knowing that they're not, you know, killing themselves out there, essentially, it means a lot to us, and it helps them perform better.
Bashal, Boston College had allowed 2 rushing touchdowns throughout the season. Entering tonight, you had 3. What did you see against them that allowed you to have success?
Just routine plays, really. Same plays we've been running all year, our bread and butter runs. So, you know, linebackers overflow, DNs or whatever overflow. And, you know, simple cut, you just got to make the read, slow your eyes down, slow your tempo down, and just press it until it hit. And when it finally hit, just hit it for a touchdown.
I know Coach Bryant tells you guys to ignore the noise, but it looks like you caught wind of some of it this week in the media. Did it sort of make you want to go harder today when you saw that someone thought that you were at a draw with the other team's linebackers?
It's just motivation, I would say, to see how much I've accomplished so far and still be put into a conversation I don't technically like. It's just how it's always been for me. So, you know, just put your head down and work no matter what. And, you know, I think tonight I showed them what the truth is. Thank you.
Thanks a lot. All right, we'll go to breakout.